Hey fam, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be creating this look with recent beauty products that I hauled. If you missed that haul and you're interested in seeing it, I will go ahead and link it in the description box below. I don't have all of the products from the haul on my face today, but I did use as many as I could to create this full face of new beauty products. For anything I didn't have, like highlighter or lips, we reached into my Shop My Stash products. So if you saw my recent Shop My Stash video, we'll get to see some of those products in action. And if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and stay tuned. We're going to get into it right now. Y'all, I am so excited to get into these new makeup products. I don't have quite enough to make a full face, but I have almost enough to make a full face, so we'll be supplementing with my Shop My Stash items as well. I am starting off with my face moisturized. I have under eye moisturizer on. I have my Versace Glass Skin Serum. I also have put on this e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. This absolutely is going to set up any of these foundations for success. However, I would choose this primer with any tinted moisturizer that I would use. So I feel like it's still a fair playing field. The first step I would go in with is brows. So that we would try the new Huda Beauty Bomb Brows. I have mine in the shade Black Brown, and it is number 7. We do have a spoolie on one side. Then we have a tiny little micro pencil on this side. So I'm just gonna start by brushing up my brows. We're gonna start with a little fine pencil. I'm just gonna fill in some of these little sparse areas and see how we make out, kind of filling in the gaps. And so far I'd say this product looks pretty natural. It allows you to make very fine hair strokes. Let's see how it does in the front. I kind of want to see where my brow should start. I think it's like right around here. I'm just kind of filling it in. I think this is a pretty good color for me as well. And you can see very well the difference between the one I haven't touched yet and the one that we did with the Huda. So I think this is a pretty good product. It's very pigmented. I love how fine the tip is. The spoolie feels pretty good as well. So I'm gonna finish filling in my brows and be back for the next step. I think this brow pencil is excellent. I feel like my brows look more natural. I love the color of this brow pencil as well. I think it really matches my brows very well. I love how easy this was to use. I do fear that as thin as it is, you'll go through this product very quickly. However, it's so worth it because I've never seen hair strokes made with a brow pencil like these. I think this is an excellent pencil. I can definitely see me repurchasing this. I think next Sephora sale, maybe I'll pick up a backup or two. I really, really like this one. So next in my routine, I would move into eyes. And I think I'm gonna start with my Stila Shimmer and Glow in Vivid Sapphire. So I'm just going to take some off of the tip of this little applicator on this very flat brush from Luxie. And I think I want to start by like kind of mapping out the look on my outer corner. And then I want to kind of bring this in. I've never used a shimmer and glow in this way. But the good news is that we haven't done the rest of the base makeup yet, so if I do make some mistakes, it'll be easy to clean them up. I'm gonna bring this back down toward my lid. Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. So now we have both sides done with this blue wing that I created with the Stila Shimmer and Glow in Vivid Sapphire. And now let's go ahead and reach into this Kaleidos palette. This is the Futurism 3 Astra Pink palette. And what I want to do is reach into this blue shimmer. It's kind of like a duochrome. And I just want to basically set the wing with that shade. I think it's gonna be really pretty. And it's kind of funny that it's 4th of July weekend here in the United States because this looks gonna be kind of red, white, and bluish. So now just taking that little pigment, we're just gonna kind of set this wing. We're using a little fluffier detail brush. And I think that this shimmer really adds some dimension to the wing. So you can kind of see with the pigment and then without. It just adds a little something, something. So next I just kind of cleaned off my brush and I'm gonna tap into this shimmery kind of silvery lavender shade. It's called Light Year. And I just want to kind of put this against the blue that we laid down. Kind of in a diagonal pattern. And I don't have any eyeshadow primer on. So we'll see how these do today. Next, we're gonna tap into this berry shade. It's like a pretty burgundy named Nebula. I'm gonna use that same little fluffy detail brush. I just want to first place this here in the inner corner of the lid. I don't wanna carry it like all the way in. I wanna just sort of keep this right on the lid and sort of marry that with our lavendery silver shimmer. And just kind of loop that into like the middle of the crease, like not any further than that. See what I mean? It looks pretty patriotic. Then taking this little narrow fluffy brush, I want to tap into this deeper neutral shade. It's called Stardust. And I just want to use this to kind of blend the edges of this little crease.
It sound right, boy.
I think that just defines the crease a bit better. And then lastly, on this fluffier brush, I'm going to tap into our lightest neutral shade. And I just want to kind of blend the edge of this neutral, just to make it as seamless as we can. Lastly, I'm going to line my lashes with these two shades. I think I'm going to do red in the front and blue in the back. If you guys are looking for colorful liquid liners, I highly recommend these ones from NYX. They are affordable. They are brush tip, which I find super easy to apply as opposed to like a regular felt tip liner. They're very pigmented and they work beautifully. I love these NYX liners. So since we didn't have a new mascara to try, I just went in with my Shop My Stash Total Temptation from Maybelline. And now we're going to put on some lashes. I do have quite a few options for lashes, but I think since I have the most of these, and these I only have like one of each and two of one, I think I'm going to grab a pair of these Kiss Bombshell lashes and we'll pop these on and see what they look like. So now we have both lashes on, and I'm going to go into the waterline with this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eye pencil. These are fantastic. This is in the shade Moxie. And these are my absolute favorite colorful gel liners for the waterline. Next, for foundation, we have a couple options. We have the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop. We have the Tarte C Hydroflex Serum Foundation. And we also have the Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint. So I think out of these three, I want to try the Fenty Eavesdrop. So mine is in the shade 6. And this is supposed to be a blurring skin tint. We'll start out with like a little bit. You can always add, but it's hard to take away. So I'm gonna start blending this on this side of my face. We'll see what it looks like. I had heard that this foundation had like more coverage than folks expected it to have for a skin tint, so we'll see what it looks like. We'll try a little bit more on my forehead. Everyone has been raving about this, so I wanted to see what the fuss was all about. So this side has the Fenty Eavesdrop, and this side does not. So you can kind of see the difference. I think the finish is really glowy so far. The finish is off on the other side of my face. So this is the first layer. Apologize if you guys can hear thunder in the background. It is raining and storming like crazy here. But I think I want to go in with a little bit more, just especially like on my cheeks. I will say this foundation is not doing wonderful things for my texture, but I don't think it's like anything too concerning. I know that Samantha March does love mixing this foundation with the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation, so maybe we'll try that another time, but I want to try to focus on this foundation for now. So I'm just going to go in, add a little bit more coverage just here, a couple little dots, and we'll see how that looks. This is super glowy. It does look like it's kind of buildable. I might want to go in with like, in the future, with like a pore filling primer here on my cheeks. I think that would really help this foundation to look a lot better on me. But I wanted to sort of just see what we were working with without correcting with primers. And I think we're in a good spot to move on to concealer. For concealer, we did have two choices. I have the Kosas concealer and I also have the Kylie concealer, but since we just used this in my Shop My Stash last month, I'm gonna stick with the Kosas. This is a product I have been eyeing for forever. I wanted to try it for so long. I've heard really good things. Mine is in 01, which I believe was like marketed as a light neutral shade. Looks a little light for me, but we're gonna make it work. It has this little kind of like paddle doe foot applicator, and I am just going to focus this first in this front part of my eye where I need the most coverage, and then I'm gonna put a little bit here on the outside to lighten that up and clean up our wing. And then I have this like little brush from Japanesque. I'm gonna use this to sort of pounce this concealer in and see what we're working with. I really like this brush. I think it helps to press the concealer into my under eye, and the edge also helps me not to hit my eye look too much with this. You can also let your concealer sit under your eye and kind of set for a second if you'd like more coverage. But so far I think this is working pretty well. It's definitely very dewy under my eye. I really like that. Concealer's pretty bomb. This concealer is really beautiful. I think it looks glossy under my eyes, which I love because my under eyes do tend to be a little dry and textured. So I really love the way that this is applied coverage and a lot of glow. I think this is a beautiful concealer, like really thrilled with this. And I think it's brightened really well. I love the coverage of this. Like, so far, such a fan. Then to set under my eyes, I'm gonna reach into our Shop My Stash Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. This is a powder I'm currently trying to pan since I finished up my last powder. I'm just gonna use this little fluffy brush, tap it off, and then I just want to set under my eyes where we put the concealer. So next to powder the rest of my face, we have two choices. We have the Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder, and we also have the Becca Light Shifter Finishing Veil. I think I'm gonna reach for the Dior powder because Samantha March has been raving about this so much. I've been dying to try it, and I'm so excited to finally have it. I wanna see if this perfects my face in the way that it beautifully perfects hers. So I have this big old fluffy brush, and we're gonna tap into the Dior powder. Mine is in the shade 2N Neutral, and I'm just gonna swirl my brush into the pan, and we're just gonna try applying some of this. It smells really good, perfumey a little bit, but not like in an aggressive way, like very fresh and nice. Put it on my forehead and a little on my neck. I think that powder did a really pretty job. I don't notice the texture as much as I did when I had the Fenty foundation on. I think it looks really nice. It's got a nice glow. It's definitely got like a little bit of like a blurring effect, which I really appreciate. Next, let's hop to eyes real quick. I want to finish up the lower lash line. I want to reach into this black sparkly shade here at the bottom. This is the shade Cosmos. And I just want to use this to very tightly line my lower lash line. And I want to just keep this as close as I can to the lower lash. And we don't want to take this all the way into the inner corner, just where the lower lash line naturally lays. And then using our little skinny blending brush, I want to tap back into our Berry Tone Nebula, and I just want to blend this. Just to kind of bring that berry back. And I'm tapping very, very gently, like boop, into the little berry tone, because I don't want this to get out of hand too quickly. And then using our biggest, fluffiest brush, I want to tap back into the lightest tone to just blend this out. I'm gonna go back in with the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara for our lower lash line. And then for the inner corner, using this sort of fluffy detail brush, I'm gonna tap back into Lunar New Year, just to give that little shade its time to shine as well. It's super pretty in the inner corner. Next, for bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the Glowish by Huda Beauty. And mine is in the shade 01 Light. And this is what she looks like. I'm gonna just tap in with this big fluffy brush, and we are going to bronze up the cheeks. This is a really soft, beautiful sun-kissed color. And the formula is very velvety. This is definitely not like the most pigmented bronzer on me, which I love. It is very pigmented, don't get me wrong, but it's not like bam pigment where it's hard to blend out. It's super easy to blend out. It's really smooth. I love the tone. I think that's really, really pretty. I really love the finish of it. I think it's so beautiful. I'm like super thrilled with this. I've been so into cream bronzer lately, and I'm still into cream bronzer, but this is a powder bronzer I can get behind, girl. I think it looks really nice. Next, we're gonna tap into the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Divine Blush in Divine Rose. This is definitely a really pretty cool tone pinky mauve shade. I think it'll look really nice with this look today. So I'm just going to tap into the pan, and we're gonna pop this on my cheeks. This is such a soft, pretty color. Pigmented, but it's just a soft, pretty tone. That is just gorgeous. I really like that tone. I think it's so pretty. What do you guys think? I think this is coming together. For highlight, we don't have a new highlighter to play with today, so I'm just gonna reach into my Dior Quad. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette, and I think I wanna tap between the light white shade here as well as the pink shade. Just kind of tap between to create a highlighter. And we're just going to apply this to my cheek. Oh, she is beaming, girl. Just kind of pat this on, blend it. This is such a gorgeous highlighter. Little on my nose. Cupid's bow, chin. Let's throw a little on my forehead too. That is so pretty. I also want to contour my nose a little bit with the Glowish. I'm going to stick to like the lighter side of the bronzer over here. And we're just going to contour my nose. I'm dipping a little bit into the darker shade. It's so nice. I really like this bronzer and how subtle and blendable it is. I think this works really well for my skin tone. And the marble pan is nice because you can kind of customize if you want. You can kind of reach into the darker or lighter side. I think that's really handy. So you can get the perfect bronzer for your skin tone. I think that looks pretty good. Now for lips, we don't have any new lippies to try. I'm definitely tempted to reach for a nude, but I figured let's go for something a little bit more fun and colorful. So I reached for these 3 products for my stash. I have the Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner in the shade Stakeout. I have my Too Faced Lippy in Hot Flash, and then I also pulled out this Marc Jacobs gloss in the shade Enamored. And I'm gonna put these on my lips.
It sound right, boys.
So this is the final look. I'd love to know what you guys think. I'm really excited. I really love the way that it turned out. I'm glad I went with a bold lip. I think it's kind of fun. I've been doing so many neutrals and nudes. So I definitely think that this is a nice change. I loved all the products that we used today. I think the eyes turned out really nicely, and I love these lashes. I especially love the little inner corner highlight. The Fenty eavesdrop was really nice. I definitely still think that I need to go in with a pore filling primer, which I think will help the eavesdrop to look a lot better on my skin with my texture. I love the concealer. I thought it looked really glossy and hydrating under my eyes. I haven't noticed any cracking or creasing. I think it looks pretty good, and I may have found a new holy grail, I'm just saying. I think the Dior powder looked really beautiful. I loved the Huda bronzer. I think it's such a unique product in that it's very user-friendly. It's a little bit customizable. You can swirl your brush in the deeper or lighter shades of the pan. As much as I've loved Korean bronzer, I think that this bronzer looks really beautiful. Very silky, very velvety. I love the brow pencil from Huda as well. It's definitely a product that I want to purchase a few more of when there is a Sephora sale. I really love the way that my brows turned out. I think it's a really good shade match for my brow shade. The blush is obviously beautiful from McGrath. I think the Stila Shimmer and Glow really helped us to create a fun little blue wing. And that's what helped inspire this entire look. I definitely didn't mean to go so patriotic, but I guess it's fitting with 4th of July weekend and my little summer t-shirt. I'm thrilled with the way it turned out. I was definitely very nervous. I wasn't sure if I could do it, but here we are. I think it looks pretty good. And I'd love to know what you guys think of these products.
Hey guys, I just wanted to check in with you. It is now like 10:30 p.m. on Saturday. This makeup has been on my face since 1:30 p.m. Saturday. I just wanted to check in and kind of show you guys a little update. My skin is definitely very dewy, but this is wearing very well. I do have some makeup missing here, and of course my lipstick is gone because I ate dinner. It was like a big old veggie burger thing, so that was on me. But I think it's wearing pretty well. The concealer still looks pretty good. Let's see. So yeah, it's definitely like maybe wearing off a little bit on my nose from wiping my nose. And then of course, like I said, a little bit here from wiping my mouth with a napkin. I mean, it's very dewy. I would probably want to powder this, but it looks pretty good. It's wearing pretty well. My lashes are popping off, but what else is new? I've been trying this new lash glue because I ran out of my Kiss lash glue, and yeah, jury's out. Could have been user error. I'm gonna keep trying with that. But yeah, I think the makeup looks pretty good. And it's lasted, which is great.
I thank you all so much for being here with me today. I love you all so much, and until the next video, bye.